everyone. A warm welcome to our YouTube viewers. Chemical Engineering Student Society NIT Durgapur is back with yet another session of a chat with chess campus placement talks. This is Somojit Mitro, and co-hosting with me today is Shayok Acharjo. As our guest, we have Mr. Tamoghna Bhattacharjee from the batch of 2022 Chemical Engineering NIT Durgapur, who's currently working at Samsung R&D India. So, good morning, Bhaiya. It's good afternoon in Seoul, I guess. So,
Yes.
it's great to have you here.
Yeah. Thank
How are
you.
you feeling to be on the show?
Yeah, it's nice. I knew about the show and it's good to be here. So, uh,
So we are all here. I mean, after JEE mains और JEE advance ब्रांचेस तो अलॉट हो जाते हैं 90 में, लेकिन जब 11th में लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं, सबका सपना वही रहता है कि आईआईटी बॉम्बे कंप्यूटर साइंस. Everyone dreams of that. But today's session, I would like to inform our viewers, is about someone who is from a non-circuit branch. He studied chemical engineering at NIT Durgapur and made it to Samsung R&D India. And not just that, he also cracked the coordination interview, which a lot of CA students have failed to crack in some past 5 to 6 years. So, Bhaiya, my first question to you would be, could you brief our viewers the roles and responsibilities of a software development engineer at Samsung R&D?
okay. So basically, there are different departments in Samsung R&D. You can like 5 to 6 departments are offered to freshers, of which I'm currently in camera systems. Basically, also camera system has many divisions, of which I'm
Hmm.
specifically working on HAL, which is hardware abstraction layer. It's a mid layer between kernel and framework. Basically, we get data from kernel, send frames to framework, and different other solution teams to make the image quality good. So we are the middle API system that we provide to access the kernel side and the framework side. So
Next
Okay,
question.
yes. So, Bhaiya, you managed to secure an internship in Hasden. So, could you brief our viewers on how you applied the position and secured the same? That how you applied it and then you secured it. So, could you brief us?
yeah, so basically being a non-circuit, it's like always hard to get response because of branch criteria. So I didn't even know when I applied Hashdin. Like used to apply for like hundreds of companies. Like whenever I see any good companies, I just apply. And suddenly I got a mail on from Hashdin that for the coding round you are selected. And the coding round was pretty easy. Followed by there was 3 interview rounds. One was a basic DSA, and the second round was basically some system design and OOPS concept. And the third is a managerial round. All the rounds are pretty much easy in comparison. So like I always say like if you have less probability to get call, increase the uh, number of applications. So I don't specifically apply for Hashdin or anything. I just got a mail someday. I probably had applied in December, I guess. So
So, Bhaiya, one of your incredible achievements, as I already mentioned, includes, I mean, cracking the coordination interview. So भैया ये कैसे कर दिया आपने, क्योंकि सीएससी स्टूडेंट से नहीं हो पाता है एनआईटी दुर्गापुर में कोऑर्डिनेशन का इंटरव्यू. कैसे प्रिपेयर किए थे आप, और मतलब हाउ डिड यू फील आफ्टर अचीविंग दिस फीट?
coordination was basically a turning point. Like I didn't prepare specifically for coordination. Like I got to know ki coordination will be on 29th July, I guess. And the we got the notification on some 7 days prior. So I was like, ki, it wouldn't be any impactful anything. I can't crack it. So I just go with the flow. I just applied and gone through Geeks for Geeks. There were some 10 problems. I just solved it. So in my mind, I was sure that it would not be selected or anything. But suddenly in the exam, after the first question was easy, but the the remaining two questions was pretty hard. Like in terms of code force, it would be around rating of 1900 and 2200. So the second question was a sudden click, like a DP with graph problem. It was so handling the DP was a very good challenging problem. It suddenly clicked. It was I didn't even thought like it would be possible, but somehow it got cleared. And not any specific preparation for that. I always say ki there is nothing specifically to prepare for any company. I used to do code forces round. And in fact, before giving any specific interview, I just go through some previous contest and solve as many problems as I could. So nothing like a topic specific study or anything. And I just cleared the coding round. I was the one in the college to clear that at that time. And after that, there was a workforce CCAT examination where you need to solve, I think, 50 problems in uh, 15 minutes. I think per problem to be 18 seconds or something. It was basically a cat kind of thing, but the main challenge is the time constant. Like 18 seconds is too low, and you have to solve like 45 plus in order to get qualify out of 50. So I didn't qualify on that, but it was good to qualify the coding round, and it gives the confidence that yes, it is possible to crack good companies being a non-circuit branch, because of course, like, CS people are there. And I, like, initially I don't have any dream of going into IT. I just do competitive coding because I love it, and the coordination gives the confidence ki, yes, you should go.
So, Bhaiya, as we have already talked about this quite a number of times in this session, but I mean, you went from a non-circuit branch to Samsung R&D. A lot of people who are in chemical engineering, in biotechnology, in mechanical, in metallurgy, they dream of these things and dream of going to companies that offer SD roles, big CS companies. But I mean, it's not always that it happens, and people are limited by a lot of challenges. So, how did you overcome the challenges that you encountered in your journey, and what were some
As
of
I
them?
say, like, the most crucial challenge is like not getting reply from the company back. Like, you apply some companies, but you don't get the reply. So the, like, solution is to increase the odds, apply more. Just
I mean,
like, whenever
if
you see
a
any
CS
company, just
student or
apply for
an
it
if a
if it's
CS
for
student
fresher.
or an EC student applies, does he always get a reply, or is that the same case
The
with them as
chances
well?
are high. Like,
Chances are
if
higher.
we apply for 100 company, we will get around 10 replies, which is almost 60 to 70 if they have good resume in case of CSE and EC. So that's kind of matters, because this branch sin will be removed by experience in some years.
Mm.
But before that, as a fresher, the branch is important column in your resume.
Yeah,
This is what
could
I
you
faced
elaborate?
at least.
So, Bhaiya, could you elaborate a bit on your time management skills? Because besides being a brilliant coder and someone with a lot of knowledge in core computer science subjects, you also aced your examination on the way to achieve your chemical engineering degree at NIT Durgapur. So, how could you do all this?
Yeah, like, my philosophy was like very clear after some point. Ki I have to go for. I will not be going into chemical code engineering. It was okay. And I, what I used to do, like, in class, I used to sit at the last bench and open some code force code chef problem and used to solve in head. And after returning to hostel, I just usually do it. And my basic study plan was like, give 1.5 or 2 weeks for mid sem and 1 month for end sem for chemical department. So that's how I manage both. So mostly I give my time to coding only.
So, Bhaiya, could you brief us on, I mean, what to prepare for an SD role in general for any company, not just about Samsung R&D, and what were the materials you referred to for the same?
Yes, like, initially when I started, I generally started DSA and competitive coding from second year. Before that, I was like doing some web development. Some, I used to explore different domain, whichever I like to know. So initially, I started with a book called DSA Made Easy by Naashami. It was a good book, and I used to refer MIT OCW 6.001. It was also a good, very good course. And after that, initially I started with some lead code and code chef, but then when I moved to Codeforce, I used to stay on that only. And I would say ki you can't think like I will know all that DSA and then move to competitive coding, then we'll do contest. And that will not happen. Like, you have to go with like reinforcement learning, I would say. Ki learn when you are stuck. So give contest, you would be stuck at maybe A, B, do that, learn that, move, practice someday, you will make it to C someday, then do it like this way, and you will go to code force problem D someday. That's how it will run. Like nothing like you not think "Yeah, I will know all DSA and then move to contest, then it will never happen. So believe in
So
reinforcement
basically,
learning.
problem solving ability needs to be increased by challenging oneself.
Yeah, problem solving ability is like first you need to increase your observation skill. It is a very important thing in CP or any algorithm kind of thing. And you have to clear about your basics very much. Like people used to ignore some easy topic like binary search, number theory, but those can screw you up anytime. Means many hard problems can be made out of this. So I always say ki, easy things are not even easy as you think. So you have to practice everything, and of course some important topics are there. If you are like DP is there, graph is there, try had become a popularity these days. I don't know why, but still. And I don't know why some companies even ask segmentary, so it's now hard to call like a important topic these days. So you have to study everything. No way out.
So, Bhaiya, presently you are at the headquarters of Samsung in Seoul, South Korea. So, Bhaiya, how's the office and how's the weather right now? Your environment in which you.
Weather is so cold. Weather is like -1. Now it is 4, I think. So weather goes to -10 some days. So it's okay. And regarding office, like it's not a office, it's a city, Samsung Digital City here. So basically, the reason of coming here is get the device access easily. They have the manufacturing center right here. So transporting it to Samsung India, like Bangalore, SRIB, it's takes time and probably not much device available. So here what happens ki device access is very easy to go through the problems, and also the product like final software verification has to be like there are 4 models which are going to be released in February, of which 2 are being made. And the thing is like the software final software release had to be made by January. One has been made till December, and another for A54 and M54 would be in January. So for quick access, most of the camera system teams are here.
So, Bhaiya, I would like to ask you if you could brief us on some of the projects and internships as you mentioned, we already mentioned, you worked as an intern at Hashdin,
Yes.
but some of the projects apart from that you had undergone or taken in your course which helped you to crack the Samsung R&D or just coding practice.
Like uh, it's a very debatable topic, I would say, because like I can't say ki go through this project or that project it will help. It's not like that. As I say ki I used to explore different domains in my early days, like first year, early second years. So to know which domain I would like, so I would suggest ki people should also do like this. They should do whatever they like. Like if you do liking ML, go with ML project. It's a good opportunity. I liked web-based things, so I basically like backend. I go with that. So it's up to the person who is doing, and like project is important on your resume to show ki you can do development kind of things, and company can understand ki okay you can handle different frameworks. Like if any new framework comes tomorrow, you can handle that. That's what it is. Like company don't expect you to like show an Amazon kind of project to them. They also know ki it's not even relevant. Technology is changing. One day you will work on React, next day you will be moved to Angular. So it's not like very specific, but you should have some project to show, and at least to know all about it. Just don't fake in the resume. You should know everything because interviewer can ask, like will ask definitely. Like in my case, I used to do I made a backend project on social media networking mimic kind of thing. So my initial DSA question was from the project only. My initial DSA question was on try, so that came from the project. So that's how the project is linked. Like they wouldn't expect you to know everything about microservices if you are doing backend. So that's
But
you
yeah,
have to know what you are doing.
so actually, as we are from chess and we like to go deeper into the topic and to explore the topic. So we have heard many or we have asked many questions regarding SD roles and DSA and all. But there are many questions about how to remember the algorithms. There in graphs, there are several algorithms. We know DFS, BFS, Dictris algorithm, Bellman Ford, Floyd Warshall. So how to remember all this? Because just practice doesn't make someone capable to remember all this. So could you tell us any specific pattern that we have to follow, or how to remember the algorithm so that we can like do it very swiftly in coding rounds or interviews?
Remembering algorithm is like similar to read math by heart. It can't be done like that way. You have to do it through practice only. Like
Okay.
for my case, like initial days I was going through, like if I learn an algorithm, let's say I'm going through DP, I will solve like 50, 60 question on lead code. But that is also bad. I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest ki go in random. You get stuck, you learn that. That's simple. And also you have to keep revising something. And if you do contest regularly on any of the platform, CodeChef, Codeforce, whatever, you would face those algorithms like uh, quite frequently, more than you think. Like Dijkstra is very common algorithm. If you are good at Dijkstra, you have to solve Codeforce DE. Like there are many algorithms. Like every other contest has this kind of algorithm. So it's nothing like you can remember and after some days you can come back and read before interview. It's not like that. You have to do it like practice only. There is no other way around.
Regularity is important.
Yes.
Regularity is
Like in
important.
my case, I used to do just contest, nothing else. I get stuck, read the editorial. If any new topic comes, I will go through YouTube videos. Like I used to go through mostly Code and Code. Code and Code is a very good channel. So I used to do that only. Read editorials, read blogs, go through YouTube videos. There are many YouTube videos for algorithms.
Actually,
Yeah,
Get
Bhaiya,
some
contests as
notes
in
if possible.
contests on HackerRank and CodeChef. You are referring to them.
Yes, I generally prefer Codeforce, but yes, you can do on any platform you want, you like.
Bhaiya, you are talking about the platform code forces. So, as everyone knows some basics about code forces, that there are tags behind, like beside each and every question in code forces, and the ratings are also there. So, should someone practice by looking at the ratings or the tags, or some, or like we should like neglect those tags, and then we should like hide those tags and then start practicing. So, could you tell us something like how could
It's
you?
an interesting thing. Like, it's a very good question. Like, I would not say ki hide the tag because tag is important. Like, if you are hiding the tag, let's say you open one random problem and it's 3000, there is no point in solving. Like 3000 are generally solved by grandmasters. So it's never it will come in interview. Like if you are going for interview purpose or make up to a certain level in code force, if you manage to do up to 2200, 2000, even 1800, you are very good. You can crack any interview. So I would say ki rating, like removing all the tags is not so good idea. The rating is important, like to know which problems to practice. Like usually I used to sort till 2000 or 2200. That's how much I used to practice. And in contest, if I get stuck, I will go till 2500. Beyond 2500, I never see problems even. So in its waste of time, like you would waste a whole day inside a problem, it will never come. Like if you are practicing heavy light decomposition, it's like you are practicing just for fun. It will never come in an interview. So like that type of thing. And if you are talking about key sorting by tag name, then I would say key doing it random. It's important. It's great because you will
Yeah.
be stuck in some random algorithm and you will run that algorithm if you don't know. So it's better to do like that. Like knowing one problem, like if you go through only DP some 1 month and then again come back to do contest, you would feel like you lost some touch in other algorithms. So it's better to have touch in everything.
Okay. And there's another one question in my mind here. You were talking about so, like in code forces, in a week we have merely two contests or three contests. So, there is also something called virtual contest in code forces. Should you do that? Like, should we frame some
Yes,
questions in virtual
virtual
contest?
contest is very good if you are practicing for interview kind of thing. And if you are late, let's say you are starting preparing just before 2 3 months of interview, then you can do virtual contest. It's really good to increase the speed to thinking ability because in interview also, like if you take any companies like Microsoft, Amazon, you have to solve like 2 or 3 problems in 1 or 2 hours. Like 1 hour is very tough. Like in 2 or 3 hours, you would get to solve 2 or 3 problems. So that is what the contest also. So that practice is good. It's same as in JE, like you do mock test before clearing the exam. That's why.
And
Yeah, this
there
was an off-campus opportunity. I mean, Samsung R&D. So, like, how you applied and how many rounds were exactly there, and could you just give us some details about each round? Also, specifically, if you could tell us some questions that the interview panel tested you with.
Hmm. So yes, I applied off campus. I took referral in LinkedIn. I asked someone to give referral and I got. And luckily, I got the coding round mail also. So in the coding round, it was a 4 hour test, and one problem was there. They called this SWC Advance, and it was like basically a Dijkstra on matrix problem. It was. So go, I cleared it in 50 minutes only, and they immediately confirm you कि you are selected for the next round, and after 2 or 3 days you will get the mail of the interview. Now, initially my interview was decided like two interviews would be there, but in one interview, like it gone through like 1.5 hour to almost 1 hour 45 minutes it gone, and I was asked like 7 questions, and I know the fact why it is like so long and why 7 questions have been asked, because of course like I am not from any CS background, so they will test and it will have to be accepted. You have to prove them that you are not a fake. You have to prove them that you know details about everything. So yes, they asked me about try. The first question was on try. Then there was two DP problem was there. Then I think two basic BST problem was there, and one binary search problem was there. So yes, they asked almost 7 questions. Probably I can't remember 5 or 6. So I was shocked to know ki they are asking try. So I knew because I practiced computer, like I faced try problem in CP, so I had the idea.
Okay.
So when I solved try, they were like happy. Like if you can solve a very difficult question in one or two, like first 1 or 2 questions, they would be like, you just tell the concept. Like when I solve try, they don't even ask me to write the DP code, whole code. They just ask me ki how the transition will work. If I explain the transition, they just okay, move on.
So
Even in case of yeah,
logic is the
like
main thing they're looking for.
yes, like in try they would know ki you can write code because it's a good logical code in try.
Yeah.
So after try, like all of my, I didn't even write the full code of any of the question. I just explained the concept like DP transition, it's done. In binary search, I explained how it will work, it's done. He knows ki I can write code. So that's how it went. And yes, for non-circuit branch, they have to be face a little difficult problems, I would guess. Yes. And these days they are asking also some system design question also, basically design pattern. So prepare for that also. If you're,
so Bhaiya, the CS the core CS subjects are there. So what should we like study in core CS?
I
Like
used to study only 3 subjects. That is CN. CN was computer networks was there in my open elective only. Then OS was I had to study separately, and DBMS. DBMS was also in my open elective. So these 3 topics, if you can grasp very good, if you have very good grasp, you can crack any interview. I don't think they will ask from compiler design or anything. These 3 topics are like you you can crack anything. Specifically, OS and DBMS are very important.
functionality. Oops is also there, like how object oriented
Oops, so is
programming.
basic. It's the given. It will be asked the any day. Oops is given. You have to know. Like not even oops. Like these days they are asking about solid principles and some of the system design questions. Like not I will say not a full LLD question, but they are asking about design pattern at least. Like they would ask any day like write a singleton class, how it will work, how the synchronization work in singleton. They can ask how chain of responsibility, what it looks like, how it will. They may ask about factory, abstract factory. So some of the basic design pattern you should know. And yes, that's
Okay, Bhaiya,
design
and
pattern,
another
some
question.
solid principle idea like list of substitution. You have to list of substitution is a tough topic. You have to explain it very good to interview if they ask. And oops, so is given.
There are many coders who like code these days, and they always face something that when we face or when we start solving a question, should we have to write the code of each and every question that we go through? or like write the logic on paper, or write solve the logic and then move on to the next question? So what's
If
your
you if you know the logic, coding hardly took 10 minutes, not even that. 10 minutes is
okay,
too much. If you know the
okay,
logic, you should write the code down because you never know which edge case you are missing. So, like, if I see a problem, I know okay, I can solve it. It's and leave that. It's not the way. You should write the code. How much time would the code takes? The main thinking time is the main time that takes. If you can solve it in dry run, back of the mind, coding is hardly taken time.
okay. And the last one from my side, like I came through a problem, or I came through algorithm. I learned an algorithm right now. So it's like we know that our brain has grasped it, but if we are given a question, it takes time to solve the algorithm. So how can we get a grasp on that algorithm, like through easy problems, or through medium, or through hard problems? Like at first, which type of problem should we do? Easy, medium, or hard?
Go with medium, I would say, because like in my days when I start DP, I would sort everything by medium. Like lead code tag was there, na, ki medium, hard. So I would do medium and I keep the medium and hard and just do all the medium problems as much as I can do.
Okay.
And after few months, you would see ki easy problem you don't even need to do. So I would say medium problem is a good start. At least lead code medium problem is a good start for if you know the algorithm. Don't be upset if you are stuck. Everyone is stuck at some point. Just go through. Lead code has a very good discussion panel was there. Code Force Course has a very good editorial. Just read that, and even if you don't understand the editorial, there was YouTube videos you would find. So
Can
that's
you
how you
like
should.
can you just suggest any YouTube channel or something like that, so that everyone can study? Because nowadays, if resources are free on YouTube, so any YouTube channel that you used to follow, or like anything?
I told na ki I used to follow from YouTube only the MIT OCW for studying of the algorithm and then follow code and code. And if
Okay,
you get stuck in context, you just write the problem name. You would find several videos. Uh, Prayansh Agarwal was there. He was made very good videos. Then Utkarsh Gupta used to make. Now he's in uh, job, so can't make probably. So those videos are there. You would find videos like contest videos are there. Many videos are there. And for studying, I would say I followed code and code very. And
So bhaiya,
also there is a good resource of Codeforce EDU. It's a very good course. Like it's beyond words. Codeforce EDU. Like I studied segmentary from there only. It's super. Grandmaster used to teach that over there. So go with EDU. EDU has very good courses on various topics, segmentary, binary search. I think many are there.
so bhaiya, you mentioned that being from non-circuit branch, our major challenge is that we get limited opportunities, so we have to increase the odds. So yeah, I mean, apart from we know about Hastin and Samsung R&D. So apart from these two, some of the other companies that you applied to on LinkedIn, so that our viewers could get an idea where to apply.
Yeah, like I also like when I was interviewing with Samsung, I also got an offer from startup called Good Workers. So I
Mm.
reject them, but after I got the Samsung. But yes, you can get like most of the companies are rejecting based on branch criteria, but you will get some like you would get like get referral from basically going through referral is a good option if you want. Like I also interviewed for Amazon once, but I got rejected because of my passing year. They were hiring for 2021, and I just applied. And suddenly I like make the referral. I got the coding round, and after the first interview, they were like they were hiring only for 2021 at that time, and 2022 will be later. So like that only, you have to go through. I would say ki make connections on LinkedIn, try for referral, apply more. Just
So
no
भैया,
option other than
मतलब
that.
in campus also we have some CS companies or basically companies of analytics and consultancy firms who open for non-circuit branches or chemical engineers for that matter. So, Bhaiya, a person with 1 or 1.5 years experience in these companies, or maybe 2 years experience, does then it get easier to go to core
Yes,
CS
your branch
companies?
scene will be raised by your experience. That though is very common. Like if you work in a service-based company and like work in a good project, yeah, also like project is important over there. Like if you work in a service-based company, so if you had a good project and work for 1.5 years, you easily can switch, I guess. Like there are many people doing like that. So there, that is one option. And other than that, you have to apply for off campus only, because on campus most of the good PBCs restricts on branch. So, and that's everywhere, not in NIT. Even IIT is also like that.
So, Bhaiya, you mentioned that regularity is important. So, Bhaiya, I mean, the motivation behind doing coding, practicing coding regularly. Like,
Motivation, though, I can't give. Like you can't get motivation external source. You have to be motivated from inside only. Like looking at Sandeep Maheshwari will make you motivated for one day, but next day you have to be motivated by you on what you want to
so
do.
discipline is more important
Yeah,
than motivation in this case.
that's I told. Like I never dreamed of going into IT company. I just like coding. I just like doing CP problems. That's why I just go with the flow. If you are thinking from interview, I don't know how that perspective will look like, but in my case, I just love doing that. I just do nothing specific.
Mm.
Like even after getting into company, I still practice. So
Bhaiya, currently, as you mentioned that you're working at Samsung R&D as the, I forgot the name of the sector.
hell, hardware abstraction layer architecture.
So, Bhaiya, I mean, what is, if you could brief our viewers on what exactly hardware abstraction architecture means?
It's basically a middleman between kernel and framework. Basically, we receive
Okay.
frame, sensor would receive frame, kernel will give the frame from ISP and all that. You would know what else to send to framework would send to solution team for image processing. They would send the frame back, you would send the frame back to a app to display. That's how it works.
So, any
It's a
further
very complicated thing,
questions?
can't be explained.
Okay. So,
Like
Shayok, any
camera
further
is not
questions
a
from your
topic
side?
that you will learn. Camera
Uh,
is a topic that will learn only by doing. Camera is new to everyone. Like if you come from CSE, EC, doesn't matter, camera is new to everyone. And it's a tough topic. Like I would say almost 60% engineers, like if a phone is being made, almost 60 to 70% engineers work only on camera. And it's only the marketing strategy also. Like camera is the main differentiator between phones now. Other than that, everything is same. Android OS is same everywhere. So yes.
Shayok, any further questions from your side?
no, I'm done.
Okay, so thank you, Bhaiya, for joining us here. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Humble request to our viewers. If you have any questions that you want to ask to Tamoghna Bhaiya, you can definitely comment in the comment box of our YouTube video, and Team Chess will get back to you with answers from the man himself. So thank you, viewers, for again once again for viewing this video, and Team Chess signing off. Meet you soon with yet another exciting session of the Placement Diaries. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much, Samuel. Thank you, sir. Bye.